Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. Today we'll be taking a look at the different cities of Sigmar, and whilst they won't all be covered, we'll get around 10 major cities that play a role within the mortal realms. As always, if you enjoy the video, hit the like button so this gets shown to more people like yourself. Here we go! A city of smoke, but a city of majesty, that is how those that first encounter Hammerhal describe this sprawling megalopolis. Spilling across the western Capillaria, this city is the jewel of Sigmar's realm-spanning empire. The foundations were laid shortly after the Seeds of Hope, the first stones of the city being laid amongst the battles between the Stormcast Hammers of Sigmar and the Uruk Warclan's Bone Splitters of the Stormrift Realmgate. This grand city was literally born of blood and flame, with little changing since then. Hammerhal is not one city, but two, with one half laying within Akshai and the other within Guran, with the pair being joined by the titanically huge Stormrift Realmgate. These two cities share a symbiotic relationship, for neither could exist without the trade from the other. However, despite the equalness of the two, Akshai is considered to be of the most import. Hammerhal Akshai is indeed one of the finest melting pots within all of the realms, of which brings its own particular brand of friction. The iron-forged Cainite temples stand close to the Greenward prefectures in which the Sylvaneth dwell. Amongst it all, the skink scribes dart amongst the Fireslayer mercenaries that stalk the markets. Master Patriarch Mensch, being the son of an Akshian and an Azerite, attempts to balance the concerns of each of the factions, but with debates raging each day within the Stormrift Palace, this can often cause clashes in culture. Akshai's boundaries expand with each new season, fueled by the volatile Realmstone and Mortal Sweat. The cogforts of the city crack the earth as they expand ever outwards, followed by the Mason clans and Wallrights that erect new fortifications over the impoverished Bulwark districts. It should be noted that all Hammerhalians are ready to fight regardless of the foe. Their city's endurance has been relied upon before, and is proof of the God King's vision for the realms is achievable. With any who preach defeatism soon falling foul to those with more explosive tempers, this fiery temperament means that military pride has reached an almost obsessive level within the Akshai population. Youths from both the palatable old city and the crime-ridden slums dream of serving in the legendary Golden Jacket regiments, such as the Golden Lions or the Sunseekers. Each Comet's Day, thousands leave their home to witness the battle-worn standards being paraded through the streets. This bravado has gradually infected the elves and Duradin that call Hammerhal Akshai home, the fires of defiance lit within their breast also. Such vigour also ensures the constant supply of manpower to Akshai's industrial districts that sit below clouds of sulphuric smog that occasionally rolls across the city. Within the forges, munitions, weapons and armour are created alongside prefabricated buildings, produced en masse. Mutilations and burns are commonplace amongst the Ashfeet, with the Akshayan mentality tending towards a form of dangerous courage. Death rates are often very high. Humans that manage to make the ripe old age of 30 are considered to be elders within these roles. For decades, the colours of Hammerhal Akshai has echoed the gold and blue Stormcast Eternals that act as their guardians, they who tore the city's great portal from the hands of the Uruks. Some of the city's more traditional regiments still wear these colours. However, since the rise of the first Marshal Talia Vedra, she has insisted that they honour the homelands and embrace the colours of Akshai's fiery heart. Hammerhal Guria is the opposite to its sister city in many ways, with its lush metropolis situated amongst the cluster of steep hills within southern Verdia, of which much has been converted into terraced gardens and thriving crop fields. As the floating aquiliths drift above, soaking these fields with water to feed the crops, sweating labourers toil in back-breaking shifts to tend to these very fields to ensure the day's quota is met, whilst others maintain the streaming channels of lava that is imported from Akshai to prevent the city from being overrun by Verdia's rapidly growing vegetation. Whilst their expertise for agriculture has earned them much respect, there are also backhanded comments suggesting that these people may be war-shy. However, this could hardly be true. The city is constantly under threat from plague and disease from Chaos Spawn. The typical Hammerhalian tactic of a massed cavalry charge would be unachievable within this realm, for the tangle of Verdia's wilds would see them cast down before battle was even met. Instead, these crusade forces that are sent from the city are often found to be hardy and adaptable, typically consisting of hard-fighting infantry trained in jungle fighting, possessing supplies and rations to fight in even the most inhospitable regions. The Titan Spear Mountains penetrate the clouds and land skywards until cosmic energies glimmer around the mountain-top summit. To the flank of these mighty mountains stands the city known as the Tempest Eye, located in the realm of Aksha, a multi-tiered city that is traversed by a series of winch lifts and cable cars. The city was originally founded by the warrior aristocrats of the Tempest Lords, with the city having a reputation for its arcane observatories and its orreries. The seers who man these massive installations use their foresight to orchestrate strikes of the Aether Guard regiments. From every tier of the Tempest Eye protrudes berth and docking struts, hosting all manner of airship, ranging from Elven Sky Cutter to Caradron Sky Vessel. It is also from here that the Ironwell dispatch squadrons of Dwarven piloted craft. These gyrobombers and gyrocopters are famed for their efficacy in high-altitude warfare, with these craft capable of laying down blistering salvos before cutting away to safety. Joining these bombers and copters are not only the winged echelons of the Tempest Lords, but also the Caradron flotillas, whose extensive trade contracts carry stipulations of direct military aid. Whilst the Tempest Eye has long checked the Khorne worshippers of the Kul's ravage, it is now grappling with a new threat. Fleets of Skaven blimp have penetrated the Caradron blockades, launching horrific torpedoes bombardments into the city's levels. Entire tiers have been dragged into broiling warp cyclones or simply reduced to rubble. The Aether Guard and the Gyrocorps have launched precision counterattacks, but the Ratmen appear rabid in their desire to push up the mountain. The city's conclave, which holds parliament within the Tempest Lord's Stormkeep of Castle Regal, organise a chillingly cold defence, with the desire to hold key choke points to the upper tiers of the mountain at great cost. The city of Hallowheart rises from the crater known as the Shimmering Abyss. This crater was once infested by Tzeentchian creatures. This city, within the realm of Aksha, stands proudly atop a massive spire of basalt, connected by long walkways to both mining and excavation sites. The vast majority of the city's wealth comes from the very crater it stands atop, extracting the arcane minerals with a particular focus on Emberstone. This volatile material has fueled progress within industries across the mortal realms. Reports from the Free Guild patrols that maintain the mines hint at malformed creatures that still haunt the ancient mines' workings, having managed to escape the purges of the Hallowed Knights and the Order of Azir. Hallowheart as a city is suffocating in mystical aura, with those dwelling within saying that magic is within the air and is even said to crackle. Across the city sit holy shrines commemorating those that were martyred by the famous Living Inferno, shortly after the city's founding. Yet despite these tragedies, the city's conclave has only continued with their obsession with magic. The Collegiate Arcane has a profound impact on the politics of the city, which is centred around the Whitefire Court. These figures are often rather eccentric and spark friction with soldiers for their want to examine every relic that is stumbled upon. Sparing them any form of physical exertion when travelling, these mages will utilise scintillating hurricanums, enchanted palanquins and even floating towers. These mages have turned the tide of battle numerous times, for within their blood boils Akshian passion, and whilst the eagerness for these spellcasters to hurl spells at the enemy often defies logic, it has seen entire armies turn to ash. The Living City is a truly unique city amongst the cities of Sigmar. Its uniqueness is thanks to the Everqueen Alariel having laid down the foundations of the city herself, with her incredible will. In just a matter of days, she moulded the city from the clay of the Everspring Swath, alongside incredibly tough ramparts of impenetrable iron oak and spires of stone that would breach the Thurian forest canopy. With this action, the Everqueen provided a safe haven for not only humanity, but her own people known as the Sylvaneth. These creatures walk the treetop verandas alongside men, elves and Duradin, and even the Stormcast Eternals, known as the Gurian Guard. The human warriors that come from the Living City are known to be adept scouts and woodsmen due to the environment that they were brought up in. These men and women are able to move through hidden paths revealed by their forest spirit allies. Protruding from the polluted waters of the Ghoulmere looms the gun-studded walls of the Greywater fastness. The conclave that governs the fastness having long abandoned its attempts to live in harmony with nature, and instead favours ruthlessly harvesting the surrounding environment for materials to feed the fires of its industrial complex, with the Ghoulmere itself a perfect example of the Greywater's reckless aggression. The Ghoulmere was created decades ago in the defence of a besieging Chaos army. Utilising the full might of their Hurricanum arrays and its howitzer batteries, whilst the barrage vaporised the besieging enemy, it also transformed a huge swath of greenery into a featureless wasteland. This display of disregard for nature earned the undying hatred of the region's Sylvaneth, who in the aftermath of the barrage suffered horrendously. These forest spirits have banded together under a fearsome unknown creature known as the Pale Oak. This faction has sworn to settle the score. These spirits will lurk in the gas-choked wilds of the Ghoulmere and exact a gruesome revenge upon any city folk or stray Free Guild Guard patrols that manage to stumble upon their domain. There is one route that passes through the Ghoulmere that might be considered safe, and that is only because of past interventions by the Everqueen in an effort to strike some sort of compromise between the industrialists of the Greywater fastness and the vengeful Sylvaneth of the Pale Oak. More than once has conflict broke out between these two factions, despite the best efforts of Alariel and the Anvils of Heldenhammer, which are the city's guardians. For now at least, there is a fragile peace between the two warring factions. Commanders of the fastness have a stalwart belief that there is no problem that cannot be solved with sufficient firepower. When sending out warriors to the Dawnbringer Crusades, they boast many Fusilier regiments, iron-weld contraptions, steam walkers, and perhaps the greatest assembly of artillery in all of the mortal realms. In times of conflict, the Fortress City's armies look to shatter any enemy with an opening bombardment of such devastating intensity that their will is broken. This is darkly referred to by the citizens of the Greywater fastness as a Greywater welcome, and has been used to passionately greet Uruk hordes and chaos hosts that have made foolish attempts to breach the city's formidable defences. Of all the cities of men, dwarves and elves, it is Lethos that has earned the hatred of the great necromancer Nagash. The city's people and their Stormcast guardians, known as the Anvils of Heldenhammer, have long held back and destroyed the undead. However, this sadly didn't prevent the escape of the dread mortar Catacross from the city's storm vault, known as the Midnight Tomb. Whilst one day there will be a reckoning for this, for at least now the lakeside city seems to thrive. The people of Lethos cultivate superstition, and for good reason. Thousands of amulets, charms and trinkets are held by the people of Lethos, and it appears since the Necroquake these artifacts actually work. A Lethosian amulet can hold back a Bloodgeist where no ordinary shield could. Lethos pays homage to two gods, both Sigmar and Mordor, the Bleak Raven. Mordor, an ancient death god native to the Isle of Styx, is thought to guard souls in the afterlife. The priests and lectors that walk the city's streets do their best to echo this practice. These men and women run the vast bellows and tread wheels that sit below the city, that operate tirelessly to provide a constant source of power for the city. There is never a shortage of volunteers for these roles, for to serve their full duration of a contract means that they would be buried with full protection within a Lethosian tomb, and in theory protected against Nagash forever. A place of faith and fury, the Viarum is a city that is built high in the spiral crux of the Sharmon. A giant curtain wall surrounds the dormant volcano of Mount Ketnus. However, this volcano is not filled with magma, but instead with quicksilver. Beyond the walls lie a district known as the Iron Collar, with this district filled with shanties and shrines that spill from the street sides like a lava flow. When mustering for the call to action within the Crusades, it's the tattered hosts of the devoted that lead the way. These, which are devoted to Sigmar, chant to congregations of free guild soldiery. Despite the religious zeal that is deeply rooted within the city, there exists a new fear, as not long ago in an event known as the Purge of Viarum, the Stormcast Eternal's celestial vindicators took up their blades to any they judged as impure. There were numerous cults that sprung up in defiance of the action, and 3/4 of the population of the city was slaughtered. The true tragedy is that it was these very Stormcasts that fought the Tzeentchian forces to capture Mount Ketnus and the Silver Shift portal. Some believe that it may have even been the Lord of Change himself that stoked these flames and caused the event to happen. Whatever the truth may be, its warriors fight with a near insane zealotry and are capable of shrugging off mortal wounds and continuing to fight on. Considering themselves the ultimate in opportunism, the citizens of Excelsus have attempted the near impossible task to settle within the realm of Gur. To many within the realms, this is seen as an optimistic venture, for the realm of Gur is said to be alive and hungry. The lands of Gur are terrifying, with the major continent of Thondia shuddering and shaking with every duel against its sister continents known as Galay and Dons. Within its wilds, giant predators roam the realm's land, sea and air, since the era of the beast and the coming of the living quake, Kragnos. The curse that he has brought with him, known as the curse of atavism, has seen many devolve into monsters, and this is a hard-pressed truth about the realm of Gur, making it a truly inhospitable realm. However, it is said that the City of Secrets has learned to overcome and even exploit this curse. The Crusade forces sent out from the City of Excelsus are said to be of great health due to the abundance of good meat within the realm of beasts. Some warriors have even learned to bend the will of the powerful creatures, allowing even free guild cavaliers to ride Gurian warhorses into battle. Whilst these may appear as regular stallions, the horrifying fact is that they are actually razor-toothed carnivores that are relentless on their chase for meat. Excelsus is not only known for its use of fearsome beasts, but also its glimmerings. These are pebble-like shards of the Great Spear of Malice, a jagged column of celestial ore that fell from the realm of heavens ages before. Drawing upon the power of these glimmerings gives a brief orrery that could be the difference between life and death. Settlers Gain is Sigmar's foremost fortress city within the realm of light. This wondrous city is built amongst the airy expansive landscape of the Zintil. The shape of the city resembles that of a wheel from the bird's eye view, with the city's elven districts at its heart, and these are almost exclusively inhabited by the Lumineth. Surrounding the elven districts are those that have come to be known as the Simple Districts, areas of dense human sprawl amongst the spokes of the Great Wheel. Humans that seek to learn at the feet of the elven tutors have great rewards that can be reaped, and this is much the notion when naming the city when it was no larger than a township. Lumineth elders have become the city's masters since winning the trust of the Stormcast Eternal Tempest Lord Protectors. The elves call the city Yulrai Zen, with many refusing to sully their tongue by uttering its human name, with this threatening to be the spark that could ignite a civil war. For all its beauty, wondrous art, music and philosophy, it is ultimately a powder keg. Under this gleaming exterior lies a darkness that silently simmers. Those that continue to progress in their study are able to rise to dizzying heights. However, as soon as they are found wanting, or worse still, speaking out of line against the Lumineth, they are quickly relocated into airborne prison keeps, or sent on a spiritual excursion to take the city's teachings to another corner of the realm. However, for all its strangeness, still this produces some of the finest military minds and capable wizards of all of the cities of Sigmar. The seaborne city of Misthaven is known as a den of cutthroats and thieves. The Shadrach Convergence is a nest of land shards lodged deep within the oceanic heart of the realm of Ulgu. Hidden amongst these land shards, near the shores of Caldrondu, is a city that bathes in fog. Appearing from the outside as no more than a ramshackle flotilla with a single lighthouse ship glowing in the distance. However, venture closer and one finds the real truth. The landscape of ships is as dense and as tall as any fortress city. Its streets the black waters, and its many gambling dens in the bilges of decommissioned galleons. The people of Misthaven drift through the city like ghosts, often masked, whilst traversing the gangways and rope bridges. The city's guardians are the Celestial Warbringers, a host known for its intellect and foreknowledge of their own deaths, which means they rarely focus on the petty crime within the city. So long as the citizens muster in times of need, the Stormcast are content to keep to their great seaborne stormkeep, known as the Scryer's Ark, much to the relief of the privateers and thieves that call Misthaven home. Whilst their soldiers are often press-ganged into service, the Free Guild and Elven hosts are known for their incredible marksmanship within terrible visibility. Their ability to improvise and work as a military force that is capable of wrong-footing an enemy before gradually cutting them apart.